اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق وخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق وهادي إلى صراط المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره وقدره العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. الحمد لله رب العالمين. أفضل الصلاة وتم تسليما على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ورضي الله تعالى عن السادة التابعين علماء آملين وأئمة أربعين مجتهدين مقلديهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Everyone who's watching on Facebook or YouTube, can y'all hear me? Great. Awesome. Can anyone hear me? I'm trying to check to see how the volume is, if I'm heard or not. Okay. All right. This person on Facebook can hear me. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim wa taslima. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Afdalu salatu wa tamu taslima ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. ورضي الله تعالى عن السادة التابعين علماء آملين وأئمة أربعين مجتهدين مقلديهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Our last week was having some technical difficulties, so inshallah ta'ala this week is better. Everyone can hear me. Last week we was having some video issues and audio issues, so we're gonna start back from where we had. Where I started from last week. We're on the section of Tayammum. Before I start, everyone who's watching on Facebook, please like and share the video. Everyone who's watching on YouTube, or if anyone is watching on YouTube, please like and share the video. All right, subscribe to the channels if you have not subscribed yet, and hit the notification bell so we can keep the Facebook and YouTube algorithm going. All right, so purification of the earth, which refers to Tayammum. The origin of the word Tayammum, it means to propose, to aim, or to intentionally pursue pure earth. It is an indication, an indicative noun for the wiping over of the face and arms with dirt or with what stands in its place, like sand, stone, and what resembles it. Now the stone is not that you wipe with the stone. The stone is that the stone it collects. It's from pure earth, and it collects, and dust collects on top of it, and you tap it. That's what it's referring to. However, anything from that which is detached from the earth completely or similarly, then it cannot be used for Tayammum except dirt specifically, right? Due to the advent of textual evidence regarding it and earth itself. Its judgment is the same whether it is detached from the earth or not. The scholars agree that Tayammum is permissible for those ill and the traveler when water is absent, or with the inability to utilize it when it is available due to sickness, out of fear that its use will increase the sickness or cause death. Right? This agreement is based upon the advent of textual evidence regarding this. Right? For Tayammum, in the language of the people of Allah, means to intentionally pursue absolute servitude, which comprises ejectness, the situation and humility for water with the people of Allah, which is used to purify the soul, the heart, and the secrets, is revealed knowledge. This knowledge is divided into two divisions: water, which descends from the heavens, which is the Quran, and the water of springs, rivers, and oceans, which is the Sunnah. Each of these two types of water are part of the light of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is intrinsically pure and absolute, purifies the soul, the heart, and the secrets. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says in Surah Nisa, ayat 43, whenever you are sick or on a journey, or or when one of you comes from relieving oneself, or when you have fondled women and you cannot find water, then strike high, dry earth and wipe your faces and your hands from it. And uh, as for the wording, whenever you are sick, is as Sheikh Abdullah ibn Fudi, the Qadamullah bi Rahmati Ameen, said in his Diyatul Ta'wil, it is a sickness which will be endangered with the utilization of water. Uh, in that it is feared, right? That it will be the cause of getting deterioration, getting greater, getting increasing your sickness. Likewise, when it is feared that it will be the cause of the of sickness or the increase thereof, in the opinion of those who follow Imam Malik, by contrast to those who follow Shafi'i in both cases, because this fear is only a presumption. By the meaning of his words, or on a journey, means that you are a traveler, you are in a state of ritual impurity or impure, and you cannot find water. Meaning that water cannot be found. The meaning of his words, or when one of you comes from relieving himself, is a metaphor for the natural impure matter which comes out of the two portals, the pinna, vagina, and anus, which the Arabs customary call taking care of one's needs, and means the actual low ground customarily used for that. The meaning of his words, or when you have fondled women, which means touching, which means which me which I fondled, which means to touch, and is actually filling with the hands, and likewise with direct contact with the aim of pleasure, or when pleasure is experienced. For this breaks the wudu unconditionally in the opinions of those who follow the Shafi'i school, but it does not unconditionally break the ablution, the wudu of those who follow the Hanafi school. Wudu is also broken by the touching of the penis when no pleasure is experienced, in the same in the most famous opinion, in accordance with Shafi'i, but it does not unconditionally break it with the Hanafis. Likewise, with the touching of the anus, it does not break ablution contrary to Shafi's opinion. This is the same judgment which touching the private parts of an infant or animal. When a woman touches her private parts, she breaks her wudu unconditionally in accordance with the Shafis, but she has not broken it unconditionally with the Hanafis. Or when she fondles it, she does, but if not, then not. On the authority of Ibn Abbas, radiallahu anhu, fondling in this verse means actual sexual intercourse. The Shehu, Taqaddam bi Rahmati Ameen, said in his Umdat'l Muta wudu is broken by touching a woman. This is in four parts. When he intends pleasure and he experiences pleasure. the wudu is broken, right? He must make wudu. When he experiences pleasure, but he did not intend it, he must make wudu, right? When he intends pleasure and does not experience it, he must make wudu. When he does not intend pleasure and he does not experience it, he does not have to make wudu. The meaning of his words, and you cannot find water in order to purify himself with it for the prayer after having searched for it without any difficulty. His part in the opinion, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, without any difficulty on his part in the opinion of those who follow the Maliki school, but unconditionally with those who follow the Shafi school, as long as the search for water does not harm him in the opinion of those who follow the Hanafi school. This refers back to the extent of the person's of his illness, because the verse was divided regarding this, and it is that the one generally given license to utilize tayammum is the person who has either minor impurity or major impurity, or if he is sick or traveling. The meaning of his words, then strike the pure high earth, means pursue it with the time of the prayer occurs. When the time of the prayer occurs. The meaning of the words dry is the top of the soil of the earth, with the condition that it be sand, stone, soil, or dirt. However, in the method of a Shafi'i, only dirt is specifically required. Anything from the dirt that adheres to the hands and unavailable in their opinion, because the earth is pure. This is in accordance with what is related in Ibn on the authority of Sunan Ibn Majah, on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who said that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The earth has been made a place of worship and pure for me." The meaning of his words "pure" is clean, and the Shafi interpolates it to mean clean of vegetation, based on the words of Allah Ta'ala, and clean land, for it should be struck twice. And by the meaning of his words of "wipe your face and hands from it," is actually instructions on the methodology of tayammum, but it does not explain the full extent of the wiping, because this is the line that delineated in wudu, when Allah Ta'ala says up to the elbows, but by the actions of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So it is related in the Sahih of Al Bukhari, right, concerning the story of Amr and Umar. And Amr said, "I came to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who said, 'Sufficient for you are the face and the hands.'" Now, who is this Amr? This Amr, he is Abu Yaqtan Amr ibn Yasir ibn Amir ibn Malik ibn Kanana ibn Qais ibn Hassan ibn Hussein ibn Waladim ibn the Ghalaba ibn Auf ibn Haratha ibn Amr Amir ibn Yam ibn Zayd ibn Malik ibn Hadad ibn Zayd al-Anisi al-Maki al-Qurayshi al-Muhajiri. He was from the freedmen of Bani Makhzum, and one of the first of the foremost and notable of the companions. He was one of the men of the Battle of Badr, and was an Arab of African origin. He narrated as many as 62 hadith, one of which is narrated in this text. He was killed as a martyr in the Battle of Siffin. in the month of Safar ibn in the year the 38 Hijri at the age of 93. It was Ali radiallahu anhu Qadamallahu wajhu who prayed over him without washing his body because he was a martyr. Now, as for Umar, he was Abu Hafs Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar al-Faruq ibn al-Khattab ibn Nufail ibn Abu Abdul Uzza ibn Riba al-Qurayshi al-Adi radiallahu anhu. In the beginning of the prophetic mission, he was extremely severe against the Muslims, but he then accepted Islam. His acceptance of Islam was a major opening for the Muslims and a cause for the lifting of frustration from them. It has been related by Abu Yahya on the authority of Ibn Umar, who said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about that, "O Allah, give honor to Islam by the most beloved to you of the two men, Umar ibn al-Khattab or Abu Jahl ibn Hashim." Thus, the most beloved of the two to Allah Ta'ala was Umar ibn Khattab, for the light of Islam entered the heart of Umar ibn Khattab when he read from the beginning of the chapter called Taha after performing wudu. Alright, so for the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, "Sufficient for you are the face and the hands." When then Amr said, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam then struck the earth with his hands and wiped over his face. And wiped over his face. Now, in another narration, it states that he said to Umar, "I rolled myself in the earth," and then when the Prophet ﷺ said this means he actually rolled himself in the soil of the earth as if he were utilizing the judgment of analogy, since he had no opinion with that Tayammum was to be performed in the same fashion as that of wudu. So he assumed that Tayammum would be performed in the same manner as that of the ritual bath. So he wasn't in a state of major impurity. The legal advantages that can be drawn from this hadith is that the legal position of making independent judgment by the companions occurred during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the legal process of making independent judgment by the companions during this time, that there is no blame on the mujtahid if he has made every effort to arrive at a judgment but fails to arrive at a correct judgment. Then he acts in accordance with his independent judgment. That is not obligatory for him to repeat his action if his judgment was incorrect. And also, in Amr's disagreement, the command of Umar to make up was an adherence to the principles of the one who believes that the one lacking any of the two purifying factors is not to pray, nor does he have to make those prayers up. All right, so then the hands. Then rub the face and then the hands. Right. So And I'm not giving you the baby because you said no. So to continue, he said, as it has been related in the narration of Muhammad ibn Kathir, the face and the palms are sufficient for you. This is similar to what was narrated by Asili and others. The stating of the face and hands is nominatively the nominative case is because they are the doer as it is clear. In the narration of Abu Dar and Karima, he said, the face is sufficient for you along with the palms, utilizing the nominative case of the doer for the face and the actual casuative case for the palms because it is grammatically the object with something is done. Okay, here you go. It's not working. With something is done. It is also said that the hadith is narrated with both being in the genitive case. Ibn Malik held the opinion that the grammatical origin of the statement is it is sufficient for you to wipe the face and palms, but the governing noun was omitted in the governed next noun remained genitive. In the hadith, no mention is made of striking twice, nor wiping the hands up to the elbows. However, the text of these emerge with the legal proof that instructions usually occur within the actual demonstration of the action. Another legal advantage to be taken from the expression used in the hadith is that what exceeds the palms is not to be considered an obligation in the teachings of Ahmed, Ishaq, Ibn Jarir, Ibn Mundir, and Ibn Khuzaymah. However, Malik ibn Anas held the apparent expression of the verse and wipe your faces and your hands from it. For with him obligatory limits of that is the same obligatory limits for the wudu. So when we make the intention and we strike the earth, we wipe the face. We strike the earth again and we wipe the hands once. Once, and then all of the and the other text or Maliki fiqh, it mentions the same thing, which is up to the elbows. The proof for this from the hadith is in what was related on the authority of Ibn Umar, radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the performance of tayammum is with striking twice, a strike for the face and a strike for the other strike for the hands up to the elbows. Excuse me. You can't stand up. It hurts. Right. Up to the elbows. The Shaykh Taqaddamullah bi Rahmati Ameen said in his Umdat'l Muta Abideen, the obligations of Tayammum are five. Intention, high pure earth, wiping the face, wiping the hands up to the wrist, and the first strike of the earth. The Sunnah are three. The second, striking of the earth for wiping the hands, wiping what is between the wrist and the elbows in the proper order. The authority of the land of the blacks, Sheikh Abdullah, then Fodio Taqaddamullah bi Rahmati Ameen. He said in his Diyad al-Ulumuddin regarding Tayammum and its methodology, that whoever is made to refrain from utilizing water due to its absence, something preventing him from reaching it, like predatory animals, his being in need of it to allay thirst, having a wound or an ailment which he fears will cause deterioration of the limbs, or utilizing it, severe drought, or prolonged recuperation, prolonged healing from the sickness. He should remain patient without the prayer. He should remain patient until the prayer time occurs. He should then seek out high clean earth, and place his two palms upon it with his fingers joined. He then should wipe them his entire face one time while making the intention to make the prayer permissible. He should then place them on the earth a second time, and then wipe his right hand with his left up to the elbow, making sure to intertwining his fingers. He then not mention the wiping of the left hand with the right hand. However, it is understood, and with its completion, ends the section on purification of the earth. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I wanted to add also is that as mentioned in the in the hadith, the methodology of tayammum is that you make tayammum once the prayer comes in and you couldn't find water. So what do you do once you find water? When you find water, then you make a complete wudu. You make a complete wudu, or if you in janaba, you janub, then you make a complete ghusl. You make a complete ghusl, and wudu, right? But making the intention to make the ghusl to purify yourself from janaba, from ritual extreme ritual impurity, right? And then make the wudu to complete the ghusl. And after you complete your ghusl, you make the wudu for the prayer, right? And then you make the prayer, but you don't make up any prayers that you had already prayed, because the tayammum that you had made is sufficient for that. However, if you still don't find water, by the time the next prayer comes in, you make another tayammum. So each time you make tayammum is for the purification of the prayer. When the next prayer come in, you still haven't found water. The tayammum that you made for the previous prayer still is not sufficient. You have to make it again. So this ends the class. Inshallah ta'ala, next week we'll be going over the next section, which is el haid wal istihada, menstruation and its purifying periods. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم آمين.